Welcome to the Four Brewers Podcast. My name is John Holzer, and as always, I'm joined by
Jason Harris.
And once again, Miss Sarah Kidd is joining us on the show this week. How you doing, Sarah?
Hello, I'm well, thank you.
Good, that's good to hear. And so this week we decided, just like the Church of Scientology, we're going to go clear with our beer. And
nice.
Lame joke. A lot of thought into that joke while I was running this morning. So it worked well in my head, but.
That was worth it. Yeah, don't apologize.
Okay. Don't apologize. It's a kind of a common joke these days with so much hazy IPA out there. Like, you've got folks out there saying, make beer clear again, kind of the whole MAGA thing happening with beer. And I do agree with it to a certain extent. Like, hazy IPAs can be a bit taxing, especially because they tend to be so, like, caloric and sweet and really just over the top with hops and everything else.
Plus, it's a different half of them have hop burn, right? Like, you literally get like a burning on your palate from the fucking beer.
It's a lot to deal with when it comes to hazy IPA, depending on the region it comes from and whatever the brewer decided to brew as far as like interpreting the style goes.
Apparently not on Instagram, though. There's those guys that just literally their profile is the exact same beer with a different can every time. Just the same picture of a beer in a glass. They all look the same and just different cans next to it.
I'd like to think, though, as those people explore craft beer more, like, they're eventually going to get tired of the super over the top hazy IPAs, especially at that price point. I know it's a turtle's pace for that kind of thing, but it's going to happen eventually. And
I don't know, though, because I don't think that the educational aspect and all that, right? Like when you would go 10 years ago to Stone Brewery or whatever, like, they had a whole like beer education aspect to their thing. And
that's a good point.
And I don't know that the guys selling hazy cans are doing that. They're just like, bro, we've got something with a new breakfast cereal in it. Fucking get down here now. Post it on Insta. FOMO.
You're basically either pre-ordering it and getting it delivered or picked up, or you're standing in line for hours and giving them your money and taking their beer home. And you're not really learning a whole lot. That's a really good point. I didn't think about it that way, because you don't have that like atmosphere that Stone has, like at the bistro, where their job is to literally educate you on the beer and the pairings with the food that you're eating. And, if you want something that's tangential to the beer you're drinking, that's, kind of similar but different, or a different style that you might like, you don't get that when you're just picking up cans at a can release.
I remember in the beginning of my beer journey taking the Stone brewery tour and, having like a guide take you through the different locations that they made the beer from stage to stage. And then, here, smell these hops. Oh, and this is what hops are. That may, I don't know. Now, if I were to be presented with that, I'd be like, oh, okay, I know what you guys are talking about.
Sure.
But for a lot of people that are new to the beer world, that was very helpful for me at the time.
Yeah. I mean, I had kind of a crutch getting into craft beer with Dr. Bill. Like, I think he's one of the smartest people in the beer scene. And I learned a lot from that guy in terms of like beer styles and beer appreciation too. It wasn't just, I got to try a whole bunch of different beers. It was learning about the history, his personal history, and how I could apply that to my own quote unquote craft beer journey.
And it feels like, though, the guys that get into the like current hype scene, that's really all they're interested in, right? And it seems like it's kind of self-reinforcing. Like, those are dudes that if you show up to a thing and they brought a bunch of their hazy pastry cans, and then you're like, hey, I got something else, they're like, oh, is it one of these? Then I don't even want it. Like, I don't want in. And another thing about the kids these days is they wear their pants too damn low.
And too damn tight.
My day, a good belt or some.
So we've got a bit of overlap on the show this week as far as beers go. The criteria was basically just to buy clear IPA, and Jason and I both did that. And we had some decent overlap. A couple duplicates, which was kind of cool to see. Like, we're on the same mind frame. I don't know, did you participate in this selection too, Sarah?
I was there,
Jason?
yeah. Yeah. We kind of talked about it a little bit.
all three of us our beer brains are one right now, and it shows in this list of beers. So I'm starting off with a beer from a local brewery out of Riverside called Wicks Brewing. This is their Paladin IPA. This is probably my favorite beer that they make. They've been making it for quite a few years. I first had it when our homie Herbie was the brewer over there. And Jason's also got a beer from Wicks. He's got their Best Coast IPA.
Although, honestly, I remember Paladin being super awesome. I haven't had it in a little while. So I was when I saw that, I was like, oh, yeah, that's a really good one. I'm a little jelly. But we'll see how this Best Coast
I had
goes.
Best Coast probably about a month ago, and I enjoyed it. I had nothing bad to say about it. It didn't blow me out of the water, but, I mean, for a 4-pack at that price point, it was totally good. It was really, really, really great.
We shall see. I apparently have not checked into it.
The Paladin for me has that really classic kind of vegetal danky earth nose. Like it's more earthy than it is dank, but you get notes of dank in there. It just smells like a really clean West Coast IPA. And this Paladin Pale, it's made with Citra hops too. So if that sheds any light on anything.
This one, at least on Untapped, it doesn't say what hops they use. I wonder if the can has more info. Oh my god, it's so small. Citra Mosaic. Okay.
So it's probably very similar to Paladin.
It's got a decent aroma. Not a huge aroma. Like compared to some of my favorites, I would say this is a little bit less aromatic. But it's got a good nose on it. It is relatively clear. It's got a little bit of that just unfiltered kind of look to it, but
it's not hazy. It definitely looks unfiltered. Yeah. Yeah. The Paladin is, it's got typical amount of haze on it you'd see from an unfiltered beer. It's not a hazy. It's a pale ale, like straight up, and it's very delicious. It's not too bitter. I think, they've had a lot of years to kind of hone this beer in, and it shows. It's very well done. I believe Wicks, during lockdown, actually got a canning line installed, like their own canning line. And I've noticed with cans of beer, like if you open the can, and I'm not saying this is a general rule, but if you open the can and foam immediately starts like coming out a little bit, that's a good sign, because like they're getting a proper fill on the can, which means almost zero headspace in the can, and it's properly carved. And this beer was like that, and I was just like, okay, cool. And you drink it, and it's nice and sharp. It's got a nice prickly tongue on it. It's just well done, and it shows. For if you go to their brewery, it's not that big. It's a little brew pub. Like they don't have a lot of output, but they're doing really good with what they have.
Yeah, I haven't been there in a few years. I used to go pretty regularly for like trivia and stuff, and then I don't really spend that much time in Riverside anymore with just way work and stuff has changed. But this is definitely a step better than the IPA that I've normally had from them. Like this is a really solid IPA. It's got good bitterness. It's got a good hop flavor. There's no off flavor. I mean, in the Inland Empire in general, this is not just Wicks. Like it's hard to get an IPA that doesn't have diacetyl in it. And this is just a solid, clean IPA all the way through. Like I said, if they were able to figure out how to wring more aroma out of those hops, I think it would really kick it up a notch. But this is really solid all the way through.
The aroma is my only minor complaint. The taste is great. The aroma's pretty forgettable. It's what's there smells good, but it's just like it fades immediately. But other than that, everything is delicious.
Is this beer an IPA or is it like a hoppy pale? Oh, it's an IPA, 6.5%. Yeah.
The Best Coast, they refer to it as a American IPA. American. Does anybody make an English IPA anymore? Can you imagine just trying to throw that shit out there? Probably some brew pub in like the Midwest.
I mean, English breweries, maybe. I don't know if I'd want one. Like, I mean,
no.
There's English styles that I would want, and IPA is not one of them. It's not. I've been Americanized with my IPA, so. Yeah, but overall, again, very impressed with Wicks. They're a brewery that, I mean, I don't want to judge breweries by I mean, I don't want to judge breweries by what I see. And when they first opened, it came off to me like Wicks was going to be like, okay, they're probably going to have mediocre beer, good food, and that's going to be their wheelhouse, just the best of both worlds kind of thing. And I think the quality of their beer has blown me away. They've really put a lot of attention and work into making really quality beers. And I'm glad for that because, like you said, Jason, there's not a lot of Inland Empire breweries that are making really good beer, let alone, IPA,
Yeah, no, like the more options we have for breweries that are not in Temecula or LA or Orange County that are actually making good beer. Like I would much rather get good beer that was made less than 10 minutes from my house. I just don't, it's just not there.
Yeah, especially out in your neck of the woods.
It's even worse. Yeah,
I used to live out there. I grew up like down the street from you, and Ritual's like the closest thing I think we have to Fontana that's making good beer. So, and they're in Redlands.
Dude, Ritual's been like going ham on like the wacky like gimmicks and stuff. Like they're really going wild on it. I mean, good for them. I'm glad to see them being creative.
I'm out of the loop on that. What are they doing?
They did a cranberry beer off that meme, and like they had their brewer riding around on a skateboard and stuff. Oh man. Like they're going real topical with their stuff.
I think it's a mixture of fuck it and desperate times call for desperate measures. You know what I mean? Because they were one of those breweries that opened up saying we're going to stick with traditional styles, quote unquote traditional for American styles of beer, and we're not going to play with gimmicks and stuff. And then 3 years later, they had a glitter beer, and they're just like, oh well. Now we have a glitter beer. I'm not going to hate on them. Like, fine, do it. But and they're a big brewery, relatively speaking, for the Inland Empire. And if they're not pushing product, like they've got to shake it up. And I'm not going to hold it against them.
Internet memes are popular for a reason, and if it gets eyes on the brewery, I don't fault them for that.
Yep.
I'm gonna have Dogface 420 come like do a night at my brewery. Like come here Friday and see Dogface 420, famous from TikTok.
He'll drink a cranberry juice with him.
Right. You have to give him a prop cranberry juice so he can pose in everybody's memes.
No, man, didn't he get like a lifetime supply of cranberry juice? Like he
got like a Toyota Tacoma full of fucking ocean spray.
There you go.
They hooked him up. Yeah. And the dude like lives in a trailer. Like he got accidentally famous. It's great.
Yeah.
I love it when that happens.
And he's all nice too. He's like, even though he's like totally like not living it up, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna use this money to buy like my mom a car or something. It's like, that's sweet of you. I
started following him on TikTok too, because like he actually has good videos that are fun, like the dude knows how to dance too. Like his follow-up one where I forgot what song it was. It was really good. And I'm like, damn, this guy's got some skills, dude. And more than just riding on a skateboard drinking cranberry juice.
That's talent by itself. I absolutely could not emulate that video.
I can't even ride a skateboard.
No.
Let alone like drink juice while riding a skateboard and singing along to Fleetwood Mac.
Like, when I do my version, I'm gonna be riding one of those hoverboards that explodes.
So moving on, my next beer that I've got up, this is from another local Riverside brewery, which I was stoked to see. Like they were right on the shelf next to one another at La Bodega down in Riverside. This is from Packinghouse Brewing Company. They haven't been on the show in quite a while. I think the last time we had them on the show was when they won a medal at GABF for their Riley's Irish Red when Matt was still on the show. And I think did they get a gold or a bronze? I think it was a bronze.
I think it was bronze. Yeah.
Yeah. But the following year, I think it was the following year they got a gold, I think. Different brewer, though.
Yep, back on season 3, episode 41.
Hey, look at him.
We got our boy Matt posing with his medal.
Nice.
And, drinking Riley's Irish Red back then.
Yeah, they were using bombers back then, and now they've moved on to cans. I don't think they have a canning line installed because they're still really, really small and tight on their budget, but they have a mobile canner that comes in. And Scott Brady, he took over. He wasn't there when Matt was there, because when Matt was there, they actually had a homebrew competition where me and Scott were both involved, and Scott won, and I got like second place, which good on Scott. But he kind of started helping out when Matt's assistant brewer took over, and I forgot his name. He works at Brewery X now, I think, in Anaheim. But he took over when he left. And it was kind of one of those things where Packinghouse was like, well, we can't really hire a full-time brewer kind of thing. But if you want to like help us out, we'll pay you and you can brew the beer. And that's what he did. And he just stuck around, and he's still their brewer. And Scott's making really good beer out of Packinghouse, because I mean, this can of beer, I was blown away by how good it is. It's not an IPA, it's a rye pale ale. But I wanted to throw it in just because, like I said, they're a local homie brewery that I've, they're going on their 10th anniversary, and I've been around since day one at Packinghouse. Like New Brew Thursday did a show at Packinghouse when their original brewer was there. So I'm happy to see that they're going on 10 years. They're in cans. I can buy their beer on shelves, and they're hanging tough, dude. Like it's especially right now. It's so difficult with COVID and everything.
Yeah, it's honestly pretty crazy how resilient a lot of the breweries have been in this area. A lot of them, are in like less than optimal locations and stuff like that, and they've been able to hang through for the most part.
You'd think out of all the areas in Southern California where there might be problems due to COVID and shutdowns, the IE would be the most susceptible. And I don't think any breweries have really shut down, as far as I know.
Not that I recall, no.
Yeah, so
the secret is they're just ignoring COVID. The entire county of Riverside is like, what's COVID?
That's true. Yeah, Packinghouse is open. They do have outdoor seating, and they've adapted like everyone else. And even though I'm still against going to places with outdoor seating and whatnot, I'm not going to hold it against them for trying to get customers in, because you got to do what you got to do.
We do not have Packinghouse beer, so we are drinking. Me and Sarah have friends of the show, friends in that they've sent us beer a lot. We don't think we've ever had the guys on, but Pariah has sent us a bunch of beer, and this time I bought their beer with my own money at the store.
Nice. Pariah sends us beer all the time. It's just that I drink it and put videos on YouTube, and especially now because we can't get together. And I think they're fine with that. They watch our videos and comment and stuff. So if they're still sending us beer, and we're putting on YouTube, then I think we're doing something right. But yeah, they make excellent beer. Now,
Pariah calls this a West Coast IPA.
I was about to bring that up myself.
Yet
it is not clear. You can't see my finger through it or anything.
It's more of a hybrid, I believe.
Mine's
right?
even got a little bit of chunks in it.
What?
They refer to it as a West Coast India Pale Ale on the can. I was being very particular to buy West Coast stuff. It was designed to straight up be tasty as well. Do they mean tasty as hell? Okay. Talk about nostalgia, provide comfort. No matter what comes of this madness, we'll be able to enjoy a delicious IPA. Hope you enjoy it as much as we do. Pariah Brewing, a proper West Coast IPA. Yep, you caught us. Well, look, I caught you guys, because this is not It is a good beer, though.
It's not bad, right? No, I would not qualify this as a West Coast. That's for sure. It's a tasty beer.
Yeah, again, it's Pariah doing their interpretation of a West Coast, and they I did this video, I did this beer on YouTube in a video, and in the description I said a straight up excellent West Coast IPA. It might not look like a West Coast IPA, but yeah. Pariah actually commented on my video, and they said, very glad you enjoyed, definitely unfiltered, and that beer is fermented with our wicked yeast. Because I made a comment in the video about the yeast, and I wasn't sure which yeast they use, if their yeast is like inherently hazy and sticks around kind of like London 3. And it sounds like that's what their house yeast is like. So I think they were going for a West Coast IPA.
It's
just that their yeast is more hazy focused.
How much bitter are you getting out of it, Sarah? Because my bitterness meter is really broken on my palate.
I would say mid-level bitter. It's not the most bitter IPA I've ever had, but it's definitely hanging around on the back of the palate. That bitter kind of linger.
I should have watched my video to remind myself of what I thought, but I think I was on that same wavelength with the bitterness. It was kind of just mid-level. Again,
that's what I'm getting, yeah. It's not super, like, it's not Swami's bitter, right? So it's not super West Coasty. It doesn't have that, like, sweet hop blend character. The hops are allowed to be a little bit pronounced in this beer, which I appreciate. Like, the hop character is there. But again, if I had this beer with no context, I wouldn't say it embodies a West Coast, really. It's a good IPA, but when I see West Coast on a can, it's not exactly what I'm looking for. I mean, we called this the Clear IPA show, and this is not even a little clear.
Mm-hmm. I definitely tend to stay away from hazies because kind of like we said at the top of the show, like it's a lot hazy IPAs. Like you can't. I mean, I don't chug beers, especially IPAs in general, but like after one, you kind of get fatigued, palate fatigued for sure.
They're kind of bloating too, like you.
Yeah,
you
and.
Full.
TMI, it's a bit much for me intestinally afterwards, specifically hazy IPAs. So another reason why I tend to stay away from them. So I'm not mad at it. It's a good beer for sure. But if I had
go ahead.
It, I wouldn't classify this as a West Coast.
Minus the Mosaic, it is kind of a classic West Coast hop bill. Mosaic, Simcoe, Amarillo, Citra is very much not. I mean, I guess Citra is a little newer school, but I mean, 2005 was 15 years ago. So,
wow,
yeah, like Simcoe, Amarillo, Citra. It's more of a West Coast kind of hop bill, right? It doesn't have a lot of those new gen hops or the like Galaxy or a lot of the newer stuff that you're seeing a lot in the Hazy Boys.
Yeah, I remember it just being really tasty, really kind of drinkable, just kind of middle of the road between like a West Coast IPA and a hazy, but more West Coast leaning. And the look of it didn't really turn me off. Yours looks more hazy than I think mine was in the video. I could be wrong. I'd have to rewatch the video, like I said. But I mean, yeah, technicalities. This is supposed to be the Clear IPA show, and it's definitely not a clear IPA. It's very not clear, but it's Pariah, and I'll give them a pass.
It's hell enjoyable.
Yeah,
it's still a good beer. Yeah, so it's not like, oh, F this beer. I mean, I'm almost done with it, but
yeah. This Nighthawk from Packinghouse, like I said, this is a rye pale ale. They've been brewing this since Matt was at Packinghouse, and I mean, aside from having it at Packinghouse on tap when Matt was there, this is the cleanest version I've ever had of it. I think Scott's really doing an excellent job with their beers, and you don't get a whole lot of like that rye spiciness from it. It's more of like a clean pale ale with like a little bit of a rye kind of accent, I guess you could say. Very drinkable, very pretty dry for what it is too. It's a pale ale, but it's not like thin, but it does finish dry. It's really good. So I'm really stoked that Packinghouse and Wicks are both still around, and they're canning their beer, and I can buy it at a liquor store. Like that's awesome.
It seems like they're going strong. Can you go back to the can art again? I have seen Nighthawk. I've been to Packinghouse and had Nighthawk, but this can art is fantastic. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, if you're watching the live stream, the can is basically, it looks kind of like Bill Murray, but
I think it's supposed to be Poe, Edgar Allan Poe.
I'm pretty sure it's famous author Edgar Allan Poe.
Okay, well, Edgar Allan, he looks like Bill Murray. Yeah, there's a lot of color on the can. There's birds, or I guess that would be crows. I don't know.
or ravens, even possibly.
Ravens. Yeah, I don't know Edgar Allan Poe apparently.
Some sort of nighthawk.
Yeah, the theme before was their old branding. They were like sticking around with like guitars, and it was good branding. Like the artwork was very well done, but this is definitely different. I remember them like using this artwork on their crowlers at first, and then I think people liked it so much that they just said, "Okay, we'll make that the Nighthawk thing," and that's what they're putting in cans now. So, the can, it really does stand out on the shelf too. It's very, very good looking, very modern, but still Packinghouse, and it's unique.
It's got a good splash of color that would stick out in a cooler or something at a store. Yeah.
To me, I'd say it is not Packinghouse and I mean that in a good way, which is to say, I've always thought their branding had a very like budget local kind of vibe, and this actually looks cool. So
I don't think it was a budget local vibe. Like again, if you look
it
at
tends
like
to be generic for me. Like
it didn't really stand out. It didn't have character.
Mhm.
I think their artwork, their previous artwork was well done, but it was just it wasn't eye catching. And this is definitely eye catching with like the blues and the pinks and the yellows and
without being obnoxious. I mean, there are some can art out there that's just like, ugh, like I don't even want to buy that. But no, I like this. A+ for the can.
You're killing it, Packinghouse. Keep it up.
I think it's time for me to go on a beer run.
Yeah, me too.
time for old Jason to hang out. John, did you see my cool little display thing I got?
What exactly is that?
That's Nyan Cat.
Is that that like pixel art thing?
Yeah.
Cool, man.
I'm really up in my production value now.
How big is it? Like dimensions? Oh, it's okay. It's not that big. How much was that?
Like $50.
Okay.
It was a
It's
birthday
just
present.
beer.
Happy birthday, Jason.
That Max
Womp, womp,
Headroom.
womp. Yeah, it is. I made a beer themed gift playlist, so it's not all beer.
And like Sarah said, happy birthday, Jason. Your birthday was 2 days ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
You're like what, 30 now?
Yeah, something like that. 30 something. Like that show that only people over 40 remember.
Okay, so up next, we're keeping it somewhat local still and going to a couple of LA breweries. I'm drinking a beer from El Segundo Brewing Company called Secco. This is actually their Brute IPA that they don't no longer call a Brute IPA. They just call it Secco IPA. I think because Brute IPA was one of those beer styles that kind of
Came in.
it was a flash in the pan kind of thing. It's just, I think breweries still they make that style, but the term Brute IPA didn't really catch on like a lot.
You
of
know what
breweries thought it
happened?
would.
Like when the second or third wave of them hit, they were all shit. Like a bunch of breweries made really, really bad ones, and it poisoned the well. Like I think the first wave that came out were really solid, and then a bunch of garbage came out.
Didn't Green Cheek have one, a Brute IPA? I remember that one specifically, but I can't remember the title of it or the name of it.
Yeah, theirs was dope. Just like all their IPAs.
Agreed. Yeah, Brute IPAs are, if I saw it in the store, I would buy it for sure. I really, really like that style. It's like an extension of a West Coast IPA.
It's like the West Coastiest IPA.
They're
like the clearest, driest IPA you've got.
It's super.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Super filtered. It's very, very dry. Like you want to go negative with your sugar content on the hydrometer post fermentation, and very hoppy. To me, that doesn't sound fun. Like I like some kind of body and some kind of sugar in my West Coast IPA. And when I first heard about Brute IPAs, first person I heard about them from was actually Jesse Friedman. And I think it was on a text message chat, and I'm just like, that does not sound good to me. Like it's okay.
They were popularized out of the Bay, right?
Right.
There was a brewery in the Bay Area, California Bay Area, that was popularizing.
Was it Cellar Maker? No, it was some kitchen. It was something in kitchen. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it wasn't Cellar Maker though.
No, it was like the Social Kitchen and Brewery in San Francisco.
There you go.
And they used amyloglucosidase, or AMG, to remove the sugars in an IPA.
Yeah. So, like I said, this is when El Segundo, I think they brewed this for the first time last year. They called it a Brute IPA, and now they're just calling it Secco IPA. And on the label, you've got like a desert scene, which dry. Get it? It's dry in the desert. It makes sense. Yeah. Another cool thing about this can is, in case you didn't know, these shrink-wrapped cans are not recyclable. You have to cut the label off. And so the can has this little perforated thing on it where...
Oh, it makes it easy to take off.
I don't know if I can do it live on the show. Now I'm on the spot.
Do it.
I don't know if I can. It's specifically made for this. Well, I can't do it with my fingernails. It's there. You can take the label off easily and recycle it, and you're helping save the planet. So you can feel good about recycling your cans.
We had an IPA, or no, a beer. I forget what style it was. Probably IPA though. That it said, it was like peel here or something on their sticker. It was a silver can with can art, and it said peel here, and then you peeled it off, and it said something like save the earth or whatever and recycle. I thought that was fun. It was like interactive.
It kind of says the same thing on the El Segundo can. This is the part that actually rips off right there. I'm showing you on the stream. Mm-hmm. And on there, it does say, unzip me to recycle and help save the planet. Yeah. So you can you can take this beer's clothes off.
I've tried that line and it doesn't ever seem to work.
That's a good one.
I mean, it's for the planet, guys. You gotta
unzip me.
So, Jason and Sarah, what are you drinking? What are you unzipping?
This beer just has printing on it. It doesn't have a thingy. A classic. We've had it on the show. I've had it a million times. Beechwood Amalgamator.
You can't go wrong, right?
Mm-mm.
No, it is soup's good.
I think Beechwood's probably one of the leading clear IPA breweries in Southern California, or the whole state. Like,
look at that! Oh, it's so
they've got a ton of clear IPA.
Yeah, they did acquiesce and finally make some hazy stuff, but that is not their lead. It's them and El Segundo. Like, I can count on them to be usually making me a really solid West Coast IPA.
Very reliable, very tasty. Yeah. Between the two of them, those are go-tos.
The LA IPA Alliance. They're
that's awesome.
The LA IPAA. They're there holding it down, still making beer that is not hazy boys. And I thank you for it.
And they're not anti-hazy, because I think Beechwood makes some pretty good hazies. Their 28 haze later is
I
pretty
feel like
good.
They were vocally anti-hazy for several years. But
Well, a lot of breweries were, and you're gonna, like you said, they're gonna acquiesce and they're gonna cave and eventually do it because they have to. I mean, And again, I think a lot of these breweries learned something along the way where they're like, yeah, we were being very staunch about this and anti whatever style. And maybe before we are so vocal about this, we take a step back and analyze it and look at the trends.
Well, it took a while
go for it.
It took a while for good versions of the style to actually become widely available.
Yeah.
And what you would see is industry people who aren't going to go out of their way to fucking chase hype cams or whatever were like, yeah, I went down to Jeff's brewery down the way and they're making a hazy and it sucks shit. And it did.
I've experienced that too. Yeah, that's very real. Yeah. I think the closest thing nowadays to equate that to are the super, super slushy beers where there's literal fruit in the can and it's going to explode if you don't open it within 15 days. That's a whole different level, I think, where breweries are like, yeah, we're not going to do that because it's dumb. Like, the style's not dumb. It's dumb to do that because you're putting your product in people's homes and it could explode. And you don't want your beer to explode. Like that's part of the brewing process, is making sure that everything is good to go. The yeast has stopped consuming sugars and it's safe to store in your house.
I would imagine it'd be pretty hard for consistency wise too, to like, is this beer going to explode or is it going to last well on the shelf, or
is it going to explode? And like when you first can it and you've got all those fermentable sugars in there, it's exploding is one thing, but then it's like, is it going to taste the same a month from now? Because all those sugars have been consumed. Now you've got this super high ABV beer. It's extra carbonated in the can. Like it's just going to be a bad experience. So, and I think that style, when it's brewed irresponsibly, breweries, they're putting a lot on the line, and they look dumb when they respond with like, well, you should have drank it within 15 days. We're going off on a tangent, but that's the only style I can think of now that if breweries were to be pressured to brew it, they could say, no, we're not going to do that because this is dumb, this is dumb. And
even then, dumb. It's not a style problem. It's just a process problem.
It's an execution problem.
So Lemonade 2020 brought up a good question. We haven't really talked about GABF much this year. He said, did Beechwood win 1 or 2 GABF awards this year? I looked it up. It's 2. If you count the Blendery. Blendery won a gold for Belgian style lambic or sour ale, which is pretty awesome. And then they also won a bronze for barrel aged full malted jacket. Related, El Segundo won a bronze for strong red ale for their Devil's Path.
And a gold for Hammerland.
A gold in Imperial IPA for Hammerland, which
love Hammerland.
I fucking agree with. Hammerland is one of the best double IPAs you can get. It is so fucking good. So,
yeah, shout out to
both of them.
Shout out to Harrison McCabe from Beechwood Blendery. Like, he is one of the nicest people I've ever met in craft beer. The dude is stoked to work at Beechwood. He's stoked to be a brewer. He's stoked to be alive. Like, and every time I see him, he's just like, "What's up, man?" And I never remember his name. I'm like, "What's up, dude?"
Hey, you.
So, I had to look him up again because I can't remember his name ever. But shout out to Harrison. He took over as head brewer and blender at Beechwood Blendery when, oh God, what's his name? We just had his beers on the show. Ryan Fields left. Yeah. So,
and I think it is such a, it confirms what they're doing that they won Belgian style lambic or sour ale. Like, they put in so much work to make their lambic style beer, like perfect, and like they're being recognized for it. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah. It validates their experiment that they did, going to Belgium, trying to simulate conditions, at Cantillon and whatnot. And it's awesome to see them bring home some medal from GABF.
That's a lot of effort, and it's nice that it's being rewarded. Yeah,
and to get as much shine on the Inland Empire as we can. Claremont Craft Ales won a gold for strong red ale.
They're LA Jason.
John, your misunderstanding of how the Inland Empire works, thinking that it's about counties, even though we live in different counties.
Trust me. My company is on your like. I understand. The 57 is the cutoff. I get it.
It's not about county lines. Otherwise, we wouldn't be in the same place, John. We're in different counties. Highland Park also won for juicy or hazy Imperial IPA.
For what?
For Sugar on My Tongue, which I have not had.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't sound familiar. Good for them, though.
Good on them.
Coming back to this Secco IPA, this is really fruity for what it is.
Really?
I think they dialed back the brute IPA aspect because it does have some lingering sweetness to it. It does still finish very dry, but man, it is very flavorful, very fruity, on the flavor. Kind of like a little peachy stone fruit kind of thing. It's very, very good. It's very enjoyable for a brute IPA.
I'm regretting not picking that up. It was at the store when we were shopping for this episode, and I was like, "Yeah, I saw it." But I was
saw
like,
Grant Hill, but it was old. No, Grand Hill. Grant Hill is the basketball player that I always think of when I see Grand Hill.
Where did you guys go for beer?
Red carpet.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right.
Red Carpet Liquors in Rancho Cucamonga.
Because I almost thought maybe they went to La Bodega and I just didn't see them there or something. And,
No, La Bodega's a bit of a drive for us.
Yeah.
I mean, we still have to get on the freeway to get to Red Hill, but it's just a quick straight shot over. Going to La Bodega, I usually only go when I'm coming back from work, because otherwise it's kind of far.
Yeah.
There's
honestly,
4
this
good
beer
liquors.
is really kind of blowing me out of the water. It's really good. I didn't expect it to be this flavorful and interesting. You should go back to Red Carpet and buy this. I think you guys will really like it. This is Secco 2.0, I think.
I don't know that I've never checked into it, so I'm not 100% sure I've had it.
I've had
usually
it.
Pretty good.
Yeah, because I think the last time they brewed this, they branded it as Secco Brute IPA, and it's like, all right, I got to try it because it's a brute, and it wasn't memorable. So they've tweaked the recipe. I think it's really good.
Hopped LA chiming in. Yep, new recipe on Secco. It's a pretty cool beer.
Confirmed. Thanks, Hopped LA.
We did it. What's on deck?
Do you want to talk about Amalgamator at all, or was just it's
Amalgamator? It's delicious. It continues to be delicious.
Didn't we do a
delicious IPA?
Yeah, didn't we do a in-depth comparison of Amalgamator and the one with Citraholic?
Citraholic.
Yeah. On the show.
We probably did.
We did.
We don't have to talk about Amalgamator. It's good beer.
Good. I'm quite enjoying myself.
All right, I'm gonna grab the Uberdank.
Yeah, it was on one of our many Beechwood and El Segundo shows.
Yeah.
Episode 304.
Beer run.
All right, we're drinking Uberdank. I'm gonna riff a bunch of Uberdank bits when everyone gets back. Oh, Mother of Christ.
What happened?
I spilled beer on my keyboard, which is actually the first time I've done that since I've been doing this show. Well,
turn it over and shake it out and hope for the best.
It'll be fine.
Is it like a fancy mechanical keyboard?
No, it's just a regular ass one.
Okay.
I have a keyboard nerd friend at work, so I'm like, "What about this keyboard? Is that a good one? It's $200." And he's like, "It's all right." The switches, and I'm like, "All right, whatever wavelength you're on with keyboards, I'm not here for it."
I forgot the name of the keyboard, but apparently it's a $400 keyboard that was made out of magnesium, and it takes a year to make. There's a waiting list.
That seems
And
extravagant.
you can pay an extra $50 to get moved up on the waiting list to get your keyboard in like 3 months.
Capitalism, bro.
Yeah, just like that. I'm
Fuck.
not there for that.
All right, I think I saved the keyboard. We'll find out. So up next, I'm transitioning.
You gotta keep going.
Oh yeah.
Good job.
So up next, we are drinking Uberdank by New Glory, West Coast IPA. New Glory is out of Sacramento, right?
Yeah, it's been a while since we've had them on the show. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think the last time we had them on the show was when we were in Sacramento for the California Craft Brewers Guild. Am I getting that wrong?
Summit?
CCBA. Yeah, the
Craft Brewer
Summit.
Association.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't thought about Hoobastank since the mid 2000s. So I'm thinking about them now, and the reason is you.
You just want me to know the reason is me?
Yeah. A reason to start all anew.
Oh god.
Lemonade 2020, I actually have strong opinions about Hoobastank. And he says, I saw an Incubus show during their Morning View debut, and I thought Hoobastank was the better. They opened and they were better. So for like 5 years, Hoobastank sounded whatever Incubus's last album sounded like. They didn't sound like Incubus's current album. They sounded like their prior album.
That's
So,
a good
like,
strategy, man.
Yeah, like when Incubus got really big doing like rap metal, like they sounded like funk rap metal, which is what Incubus's like earlier album sounded like. And then when Incubus went pop, they were like, we're more rap metal now. It's like, listen, we got to go pop. And then they came out with The Reason.
Science
you
is
go.
the best Incubus album, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, just confirming that.
Just making sure.
Yeah, this is a science-based podcast.
So yeah, we're drinking Uberdank from New Glory. Great name. Excellent label artwork here. Like you've got, this is a theme for them. They have like a grid thing with their labels, and this one's like hop flowers that are bursting, or like stars in the sky. I don't know. Looks cool.
That's an artistic interpretation.
Yeah,
It looks like wallpaper to me, not in a bad way, but just, kind of generic.
okay.
Wow.
Just
Sorry,
her over here.
It's gonna smack you in the face with its dank aromas and flavors, or as Lorenzini said about my music commentary, straight to the face with the truth.
Do.
He got rid of the straight to your face song now.
I think that was a good move. Yeah.
Yeah. But shout out to Punk Rock MBA, best YouTube channel.
Finn McKenty's the man, dude.
That's right.
So the clarity on this beer. Let's see. It's pretty standard. It looks good. It looks like it's unfiltered. Normal for a West Coast IPA. They're not pulling hazy tricks on this beer.
Indomitable is what it says on the bottom of my can. It was canned on 10/6/2020. Indomitable.
Yep, me too.
Inconceivable.
We got the same beers, man. And I gotta say, like, it's pretty cool to see New Glory available for purchase in Southern California. That happened quicker than I thought it would.
Yeah, I feel like we had them a few years ago when we were in Sacramento proper. So, let's see. I checked into this beer 2017 and 2016. So yeah, it's been a few years. Good to see them down here.
Yeah, Robert French introduced us to New Glory while we were at the California Craft Beer Summit. And,
French of the show.
Nice.
French of the show. Well,
I
now
miss
he's
him.
up there, so I know. Yeah, he's in Northern California now, so maybe he's enjoying some New Glory right now.
I'm sure he is in his brand new remodeled kitchen. That looks amazing.
That stove is amazing.
Yeah, it really is. That's the centerpiece, right?
Welcome to Stove Talk.
That's the knobs on that stove. Like
Oh,
I'm
glorious.
intimidated by those knobs. They're just so beefy and big.
Girthy.
Yeah. Look at that thick
They're
knob.
girthy.
Oh god, that knob is just like
They just
get
look like a pleasure to use. Like you're like,
It is very tactile. I will give you that. Yeah, it does look like it'd be nice to turn that knob,
yeah.
fellas.
Shout out, Robert.
French of the show. This beer, the only hop they list on there is Mosaic. Is it all Mosaic? It says Mosaic hops provide an array of blah 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 blah, and then they describe other flavors, but they don't mention any other hops. I wouldn't be surprised if this is all Mosaic. It has a very Mosaic heavy flavor.
Yeah.
I feel like my sniffer is broken because all of the beers this show have not been particularly aromatic. Like it's there, but I'm not getting like a lot of.
I feel like I have done New Glory a disservice by drinking this beer back to back with Amalgamator, which is one of the best Mosaic IPAs that you could get. Which is to say, this beer is really good. It's done really well. It's got that West Coast style. It's got a big hop flavor, but it's not Amalgamator, right? Like, there's a reason that we say Beechwood is one of the best IPA producers in the state. And
I
so
kind of wish I had some Amalgamator to compare it to, because for me, I'm getting a pretty big nose on it. It's pretty dank. Like it's a little bit of fruit coming through. It's pretty big though on the nose for me. I think your sniffer is broken today, Sarah.
Yeah, I wouldn't. That makes sense.
But comparing it to Amalgamator, yeah, it's. Beechwood makes really, really good IPA. That's what they're known for, right? And I don't know. It's you don't want to compare two excellent. It's tough to do that. I think I wouldn't want to. I'm glad I'm not in your shoes, Jason. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm just like having them back to back. It is like. One beer's a 10 out of 10. Even if you're a 9 out of 10, you're still like, yeah, but that last one was a little bit better. You know, like, so it's.
So you're saying
just,
the Amalgamator's a 10 and this one's a 9.
I would.
Or like a 9.5.
I feel pretty confident in rating it that way. This is an excellent beer. Yeah, it's very, very good. But I am thinking about Amalgamator when I drink this beer because I just had Amalgamator. So,
Yeah.
But it's like, I have no complaints about it.
Yeah, it's a clean beer. It's very well made. I think the bitterness is pretty balanced for a West Coast IPA. It's not over the top. It's not super tongue stripping. It's really good.
Tongue stripper. Did we ever make it to New Glory? I don't know that we did.
No, we just got cans from Robert.
Yeah, we had their beer around in Sacramento, I feel like, but
we had their beer at the festival. He introduced us to them, and it was I don't know who was at their booth. It was probably some random person from the brewery, but that's as far as it went.
I will say they had
I think they gave us some cans at the festival too.
Maybe.
I think I remember that. Yeah.
I will say they had very cool looking cans. Their cans on the shelf at the store. They had a few other cans, not just this one, but they were very interesting and cool looking. Which props for that.
And I will say also, every time I say New Glory, I think of Newfound Glory.
Me too.
Their song stuck in my head.
Do you remember the time you realized Thriller was your favorite song?
I do.
Shut up. Look at it. These are all really kind of cool, like kind of abstract art looking.
Yeah. The scroll down a little bit. I like the one sparkly things.
Sparkly things.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are all pretty cool. New Glory, if they get distro, check them out. It sounds like they're through most of California at this point. Ooh, this Lupulin trigger can looks dope. It's like a little
that's cool.
explosion of hot powder. I'm here for it.
Well, I think overall, from the beers we've had on the show this week, Clear IPA is live and well. It's not going anywhere. I actually thought I'd have trouble finding clear IPA, and I didn't.
I did too.
I picked up like 5 beers, and it was easy. So,
I mean, I had a little bit of trouble. Like, I had to look for a little while. Like, considering IPA is everywhere, it was kind of like, yeah, we had to hunt around and look through
Honestly,
the shelf.
I put back 2 or 3 cans of hazy IPA. Like I had to look at the can closer, and then when I saw it, it was like, oh, that's hazy. Okay,
I did
never
the same thing. I had to study the cans and say, okay, are you coming up? Are you what are you? I
Yeah,
don't
and
know.
there were a couple that it just said IPA. So then I picked it up and I looked at it more, and it didn't specify hazy or not. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to put you back.
And I kind
And I
of
was-
went off the labels too. Like if it's some kind of hype, like cartoon throw up label, it's probably not an IPA. It's probably a hazy IPA. And I just was like, okay, maybe not if you're not going to be descriptive like on the label.
Yeah, I think that's fair. But honestly, I am the biggest thing I'm taking away is that I regret not getting the Secco.
Well, it's if it's there, pick it up, man. It's good beer.
Good to know. Jason, you have another can?
I don't know. John sounds like he's wrapping up. Do we want to wrap up, or do we want to do another?
What do you want to do?
I mean, I'm gonna have an IPA either way. Do you want to do it on the show, or I'll just do it on my own?
You want to do like a Patreon thing?
Sure.
You already opened it. All right, we'll just.
It's already open.
I told you I'm drinking it one way or the other. Figure it out.
All right, let's just end it there, and then we'll open our extras for Patreon. That sounds good.
Give your balls a tug.
What?
It only makes sense if you've seen Letterkenny.
Oh,
And
I
if you
haven't.
haven't, then yeah. It's a lot to explain.
Fuck you, Shorzy.
Spoilers, go watch Letterkenny. It's definitely worth it.
It's on Hulu.
All right, I'm gonna go grab my next beer.
Me too.
So you got Barrel Brothers, Jason, right?
Yeah.
All right.
We just start a new recording or some shit.
Yeah, you can stop and then. Okay, so Sarah,
I'm back.
last time you stopped, but then you started again on the same file, which is not a problem because I still got the audio, but it was just like tacked on to that same audio. So you sent me the show 3 times. Remember when we did the 2 extras for Patreon? So you have to stop the recording on Audacity, save that, export it like we did last time as a WAV file, and then start a new project and then start recording from there.
Okay.
I can help in a sec.
Yeah.